Hi, I'm Bill Holcomb, and today I will be painting the famous Arc de Triomphe in Barcelona, Spain. You can download my free sketch in the description, and here is a list of the materials used in this tutorial. I start with a wash of water in the sky down to the tops of the Arc de Triomphe, and then you can come in with a wash of Windsor Blue. You can use a mop brush or a number 10. This is a small piece of paper, not too large. And then just work that down to the top of the arc. Thankfully, this number 10 I have is quite pointed, so I can get into the detail. There are some distant buildings which will be sort of silhouetted, very faint, and so you come down to the top of those as well. This bit is a little bit fiddly because of the various shapes at the top of the arc. You could use a smaller brush to get the blue pigment into those areas. And then whilst it's wet, so wet and wet, a darker wash, always starting from the top, as we did with the first wash for the sky. And that will gradually creep down because we have our board at a slight angle, as you know, about 25-30 degrees, for the pigment to slowly creep down. Here, there's a little bit of sky showing underneath there, and I lay down a wash, and then I can use a tissue to get it to the right intensity. Please remember to like and subscribe so that we can notify you of future videos, and it's all free. So you can go to your smaller brush, as I mentioned earlier, to just neaten up those edges for the sky color up to the structure. And you can use a little bit of light red, maybe with a touch of alizarin crimson to darken it a bit. Start laying in some detail with a smaller brush, something like a 6 or a 4. Choose one with a fairly nice point to it because there's a lot of detail in this painting, as you can see from the drawing. And it's with this, it's very architectural, so there's a lot of detailed painting, having done a detailed drawing. So it's one where you just use your patience and stick at it. Don't let it defeat you. Just keep going because you'll get there. Treat it as a worthy challenge, and I'm sure you'll be pleased with the end results. It will look impressive. So we won't be showing all of this in the video because it would be an extremely long video because of all the detail in the structure, but just showing you some of it as to how we do it. And don't forget, here and there you can dry off with a hairdryer, which I have done, and it will always be lighter when it dries. There's a distant hillside with properties in there with little white facades and little bits of greenery in between for trees and bushes. And so we're just doing that now, just indicating enough to tell the story. And it gets darker the closer it gets to us, of course, as we get further down the hillside and the nearby properties in the street below. And that area in the street below is also tree lined, which you'll see later will lay in those greens. And because they're distant, they don't have to be really sharp in terms of focus. If you make them less sharp, then that adds to the realism, makes them look far away, which is what you want. And it gives a nice contrast with the architectural structure, very detailed in the arc, and then the distance of the town or city. So, as I said, painstakingly completing gradually, bit by bit, the arc. The good thing about this type of painting, of course, it is something that you could do so much, maybe get a bit tired and then stop, take a break, and then come back to it, because it's not as if you've got lots and lots of wet in wet washes to have to complete and worry about, because you're painting the structure. Now, remember, for this particular painting, the sun is coming from our left, so casting shadows to the right. Underneath the arc, of course, is a shadow at the top there, and you can see some shadow to the left of the structure, and then as we go gradually to the right, how it lightens. And these distinctive palm trees, use a nice small brush, go to 4 or 2, and as always, start with a lighter green. You can use your Windsor yellow and your permanent sap green, and just do those various strands of the palm like that at first, and then with a darker colour we'll be putting in the distinctive shapes. For the trunks, you can use a little bit of your Windsor blue and light red again, with more of the red to get your brown, and it's quite a light brown. That's first of all an underpainting on the trunks. Because of the direction of the sun I told you about, we're making sure that it's dark on the right side. Now I've got some of that darker green, um, to shape up the trees, make them look realistic. And you can have fun with this because you're not following a definite replication of what's there. You're making it up as best as possible, making it look convincing. Do the same to the other side. Those distant buildings, of course, they would be stronger than I've made them, but we've made them look convincing artistically. They do not compete with the arc, our principal subject. That is just a very faint wash of the Windsor blue and a little light red. And then the figures, have fun with these, different colours, make up the different colours you want, and think of the shapes of them walking along, rather than them appearing too static. Um, you can emphasize that aspect of it even more than I have. Then I've got a mop brush here for the pavement area, a wash of water first, which is always a good idea here, because your pigment, if you was starting straight with a pigment, it would dry much quicker, not give you the opportunity of fusing in. So you're now doing white and wet, little bit of your Windsor blue and light red, the pavement colour, and you can drop to your 10 brush after the mop brush, always starting at the bottom again and working up. Flat brush, half or 3/4 size, you can do for shadows for the people, and then we'll be having shadows later on for the various trees, casting shadows across the pavement from left to right. And then there's little shadows on the grass. Um, the grass shadows will be, you would choose a green mixture for the shadows onto the grass. And then you've got a grey mixture for the shadows on the pavement, because the pavement is a greyer colour. But the grass being a green colour, you need a green shadow. So this flat brush is very useful for getting nice accurate straight lines, nice thin ones. Adds a little bit of interest to the painting, and it emphasises that it is a nice bright sunny day. And here is a finished painting. I know that you could achieve this. Please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.